The 4th of July is almost here. The fireworks are coming out early, though, this year. And we have already massive fireworks coming out of the NHL and the ice world. What a time it is to be alive. A unwritten rule has been broken. A code has been broken. And something unprecedented has happened that has shook up the entire National Hockey World landscape. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Leo Carlsson got what? He got what? Are you serious? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a massive firework to start this 4th of July. You know, I woke up this morning and I was having a great day, went on a hike, had some fun stuff going on. And then all of a sudden I checked Twitter and I see Darren Dregler, his tweet. And I looked at it, and at first I was like, I slapped myself because I was like, did I just read that right? Did that just happen? Like, what? Like, I thought my eyes were like playing with me. So I grabbed a bottle of water, immediately dumped it on my eyes just to like unblurry it. And nope, it was real. Leo Carlsson got a 5-year, $18 million a year offer sheet from the Philadelphia Flyers. And now Anaheim is in a bind. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. What is up, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing well. Before we get into that topic, go ahead and smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. You know, if any of you guys want to come in and join the conversation, you could join in on the chum line. That's what we're calling it, the chum line. Not the chum bucket, but the chum line here. Link is down below. Thank you very much, StreamYard. But Leo Carlsson has agreed to and assigned a 5-year, $18 million AAV deal or offer sheet with the Philadelphia Flyers, the 22-year-old superstar centerman for the Anaheim Ducks, has basically given Pat Verbeek, the general manager of the Anaheim Ducks, the big middle finger and said, match this or else I'm leaving. And the Anaheim Ducks now have 7 days to match that contract or else he is headed to Philadelphia. Initial thoughts is, as a Sharks fan, the offseason just keeps getting better and better. I mean, we're rising and rising and rising, and all the moves that we made, and, you know, and then you got the rest of our division losing players left and right. This is why I've been saying this is the Sharks league moving forward. I mean, I've talked about the dynasty, a future dynasty starting in like 2 or 3 years. It might be just expedited and start next year. So, I mean, as a Sharks fan, this is absolutely thrilling, but it's also kind of scary because now with Leo Carlsson, a player who I would say he's like, there's like, out of all the young superstar players in this league, right? It's MACKLIN at number 1, Connor Bedard at number 2. And then I think you could put probably Leo Carlsson at number 3, maybe Jason Robertson there too. But Leo Carlsson and Jason Robertson are like tier 2. Leo Carlsson was supposed to only get like $10 or $12 million a year. And that was what he was supposed to get. I know they were all waiting for each other. Ivan Demidov signed recently. But I know all four of these young players, they were all waiting for each other to sign. Bedard was going to be after CARLSSON, and then MACKLIN was going to be after all of them to break the bank. Well, now here's the thing. This completely changes the entire scope of the landscape. It changes the entire equation now, because if Leo CARLSSON is getting $18 million a year, well, then what is Bedard worth? What is MACKLIN worth? I mean, if Leo CARLSSON's getting that much, MACKLIN's definitely worth 25 million at this rate. And that's gonna, end up screwing up the salary cap for all these teams. So that's my thoughts on it as a Sharks fan's perspective. My thoughts on it as a just an NHL fan, and feel free if you want to come in and chime in, right? Because I'm not afraid of conflicting opinions. I welcome it. I welcome the discussion. Like I said, this is where, ladies and gentlemen, you can get your hockey talk. There's nobody else that does hockey talk except this place right here. And this is your resident hockey fan. But my thoughts on it, and I texted my guy, James Gonzalez. Shout out to you, James. He is pissed off right now. You know it. That's why he is raging in the comment section, saying that I am going to slap you. That's what he said. Well, good luck with that, James. I'm more tougher than you. But, my thoughts on this when I first saw the news was holy bleep. Because, like I said, Leo CARLSSON is a good young player, but the fact that he's going to get $18 million a season, it's unbelievable. And, now Anaheim is in a bind. Pat Verbeek, the general manager, this is a problem with him. This is why you always sign your young cornerstone pieces early, and you don't hesitate. You don't penny pinch them like Pat Verbeek has a tendency to do. You don't haggle over the nickels and dimes. You just get it done. And Pat Verbeek is learning the hard way. I mean, CARLSSON just went over Pat Verbeek's head and got this offer when Pat Verbeek didn't expect it. And boom, now you're in a bind. This is why Pat Verbeek needs to be gone, because of the nonsense like that. Like, there's a reason why, and there's a great article in The Athletic about Pat Verbeek's dealings with other general managers and why they don't really want to deal with him a lot of the time, or agents. Why agents don't want to deal with Pat Verbeek. There's a reason why. It's because when you look at it, Pat Verbeek always tries to penny pinch. He always tries to tries to like make a big deal out of like nickels and dimes. And this is what's going to cost you now. Like, why is Mike Grier the best general manager in the Western Conference? It's because Grier's not going to hesitate over like some small amount of money. He knows the importance of a guy like a Macklin Celebrini or a Will Smith or a Colin Graff or a Michael Misa. You don't haggle over nickels and dimes with those guys. You give them what they want and what they need. Those are your future. And you don't put yourself in that situation. There's a reason why we're closing in on a Colin Graff deal. Because Mike Grier was like, hey, Colin Graff's important, give him the money. And there's a reason why we're going to give Macklin Celebrini a blank check before he hits restricted free agency, because Mike Grier knows how important he is. This is why you don't haggle and you don't hassle over like little bits amounts of money. You don't do that with your young players. So now the Anaheim Ducks are virtually screwed, because either way, however you look at it, they are in a situation where they're not going to be able to get out from under, and they're not going to be able to win. Because you look at what's happened right now, right? You have you look at what's going on right now. You look at this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I look at it like this. If you pay Leo Carlsson that unprecedented amount of money, which is $18 million a year, your salary cap strapped for the next like 4 to 5 years. Even though the salary cap is going up, even though you could maybe move on from some veteran players, but Beckett Seneca's still going to be a restricted free agent in 2028. You've got other young players that are going to be needing new deals. Like there's already a guy out there, Pavel, I think that's his first name. Teams are already offer sheeting him right now at the moment because they know Anaheim's not going to be able to pay everybody because of this. So you either keep your star player or you get salary cap strapped. You don't have any ways to maneuver, or you lose him. You lose your superstar players. Yes, you get 4 first-round picks, which is nice, but those picks are probably going to be like in the late 20s. So you can't really get a superstar unless you hope that Beckett Seneca becomes that superstar. I think he could be a superstar, but you better hope Beckett Seneca becomes that superstar. So whatever happens, the Ducks are screwed. That's why, like Pat VERBEEK, you should have signed him last year when you had the opportunity. But unfortunately, you didn't. By the way, I don't know if that StreamYard link is working. I have tried to put in the I thought it was in the comment section, but I guess it wasn't. So the group chats has them. So if you want, go into them, grab them, and you can jump into the conversation. The group chats have them. But this is a lose-lose for Anaheim. Now also, like, just a big picture of everything. This is something that has just opened up Pandora's box because there was an unwritten rule in the NHL amongst the general managers that you don't do this type of stuff, right? Where you go out there just to submit a crazy offer sheet to another team's young up-and-coming star, and you submit it to him. You know he's going to sign it because it's a crazy-ass offer sheet. You blow him out of the water, and either that team that currently has them is screwed, or they lose their best young player, and their future is screwed. This just broke that unwritten rule. This just opened up Pandora's box, and you've seen it now. A lot of teams are trying to offer sheet other young restricted free agents. And here's the thing. Like, people talk all this stuff about, we need to follow unwritten. We shouldn't follow unwritten rules because unwritten rules if it's not a rule, if it's not written, who cares? Well, I hope you're happy because guess what? The NHL just got turned upside down because now all hands are off. So, and here's the thing. I've always thought about this. I don't get this, like, quote unquote brotherhood of GMs and unwritten rule between GMs and this, like, moral code that you got to follow. Like, you're the GM of opposing teams. Like, who cares? I'm trying to beat your ass. You're trying to beat my ass. Why are we trying to, like, I'm going to, like, not take this player from you, or you don't do this, and, we're having, like, a hush money type of thing. Like, yeah, like, what? I'm trying to beat your ass. Like, if I was a general manager in the NHL right now, I would go and say, look, all these young players, Connor Bedard, $30 million offer sheet coming your way because I know damn well Chicago's not going to match it. And if they match it, they are screwed. I'm trying to make your organization weak, not make you better. Like, why do we have this, like, quote unquote code where now the GMs are apparently mad at Philadelphia for, breaking this unwritten rule? Like, what? Are you out of your freaking mind? Like, who cares? Who cares? I'm trying to beat your ass. I'm not trying to, like, help you. So for me, with Philadelphia doing this to Anaheim, bravo Philadelphia, because it's about damn time someone broke this stupid ass unwritten rule and someone like did this stuff and submitted this crazy restricted crazy offer to a restricted free agent. It's about time. So bravo for Philadelphia for that. My honest opinion though, if Anaheim should match it or not, my honest opinion is if I'm Anaheim, I'm not going to match it, because if I am Pat Verbeek, first of all, Pat Verbeek should be fired for putting my team in this predicament. Only lousy general managers do this type of stuff. You know, no wonder why Mike Greer is ahead of you, because he's one step ahead and you're just down below. But Pat Verbeek should be gone for this. You just effed up my future. If I'm this is the thinking that I'm thinking if I'm the Anaheim Ducks owner. Pat Verbeek should be out of a job for this nonsense. You have a bright future, now it's been effed up because of this. But honestly though, Leo Carlsson, I am not matching that, because Leo Carlsson is a fine player, but he's nowhere near Macklin Celebrini's level. He is nowhere near even Connor Bedard's level. He's nowhere near any of that level, man. Like, get out of here with that. Sure, if it was Macklin Celebrini, $25 million, easy money. He's not even on that level, so he doesn't deserve $18 million. Good for him, he's getting $18 million, but he doesn't deserve it. And here's the thing. If I'm the Anaheim Ducks, I'm taking the draft picks, those 4 first-round picks, and I'm running with it, and I'm re-signing Beckett Seneca and the other young players that you have, because I just think that if you're Anaheim, you cannot afford to have like 70% of your cap tied into one player. I would take the picks. I would run with it. I would let Philadelphia have that, ridiculous contract, and then take the picks, and then offer sheet Connor Bedard. That's what I would do if I'm Anaheim, because, I think Bedard's a better player than Carlsson. Yes, Bedard's got his share of injuries, but I also think that you do have Seneca, who has blossomed into a star-level player, a young star-level player. I think that you give Bedard what he wants, see if Chicago wants to match it. If not, well, then you still have 4 first-round picks to play with, which is very valuable. Like the Sharks proved this year that, hey, if you have 3 or 2 or 3 first-round picks in the first round, it's very valuable to maneuver. So I think that for Anaheim, that's what they should do. But you got to get rid of Pat Verbeek first. He put you in a ridiculous bind. Good for Philadelphia for breaking this unwritten rule and this code, and even though GMs might be pissed off all over the NHL, we'll cry about it. I'm trying to win, all right? Who cares? And hey, Philadelphia's trying to get revenge for what Anaheim did to them about Cutter Gauthier. Well, good for you. You just effed up Anaheim's future. So that's my thoughts on it. I would not bring back Leo Carlsson, because I don't think he deserves. I would not match that deal. I don't think he deserves that type of money, and you cannot have your entire salary cap, even though it's going up, tied into one player. All right. Let's look at the comment section. So glad that we don't have anybody tuning in or anybody joining the program thus far tonight. James is pissed off. He says, F you. James, if you want to come on, hey, I sent you the link in the group chat, so get your ass on here if you want to talk about it. I know you were raging to me about it. Jay Callan says, you're not hiding shows from anyone, dude. Hey, you're a Ducks fan. I'm talking about your team, all right? James says, or Callan says, once again, Isaiah, if he does go to Philly and Anaheim hasn't spent all their cap space after re-signing other free agents, they could trade all 4 picks elsewhere for a big-name player or players. Here's the problem, though. You're getting to the point where it's late in free agency where there's no good players available. Everybody has either been picked up or re-signed. And don't tell me that Jason Robertson is on the level of Leo Carlsson. I mean, well, you know what? I take that back. he might be on the level of Leo Carlsson, but you just got an older version of Leo Carlsson. So how's that a win for you guys? Callan says that, of course, Greer isn't even the best GM in the conference, let alone the NHL. I disagree. I think with what he's done in free agency, what he's going to do with the Macklin extensions this summer, and other like Graf and Will Smith, I mean, look what he pulled off to go from the second pick, well, from originally the 9th pick to the 2nd pick, then getting this 9th pick back with the 2nd pick, and then going from 27 to 21st. Absolute masterclass in the draft by Mike Greer. James says, SYBAU, I just got home from the gym. Well, get your ass in here then, James. Get your ass in here. It's in the group chat. Callan says, no team has won a Stanley Cup with one player making more than $10 million on the roster. Here's the problem you don't get, Callan. And I know you followed hockey for a long time. You are the hockey expert, and I give you that. Here is the problem that you forget. The problem that you forget, Callan, is that, like I keep trying to tell everybody, you have to pay the premium and pay money to get talent. And to win a Stanley Cup, you have to have talent. That's just how it is. You can't build a team like the Oakland Athletics did with Moneyball and expect to win a championship. Did they win a championship? Hell no, they didn't even make it out of the first round. So, yes, you absolutely need to pay. You can't go with this like cost-cutting nonsense. But like I said, I would not pay Leo Carlsson that, because to pay money, yes, I would pay for a Macklin Celebrini-like player, but not a Leo Carlsson and not at $18 million. But this certainly changes a lot of stuff for now, because with Carlsson getting that money that he's going to get, $18 million a year, now Celebrini's going to probably get like at least 25. Bedard might be in that 20 range. Who knows? But it definitely explodes the market and explodes it very fast for these young superstars. All right, I think we have James on the chum line. What's up, James? What's up, man?
Oh, really? You think
Welcome
it's
to the
James
chum
Gonzalez?
line. Oh shit!
Oh, really? You think it's James Gonzalez?
Yes, I honestly thought it was James because he commented that he just got home from the gym, so I thought he clicked on the link.
No, it's not.
Oh God! Well, first of all, how did you get the link?
Group chats that you don't think I look through, sir.
All right, what do you want to chum in about, Callan?
Dude, I mean, you already know my position on this because of where my standing is within the organization, so I'm not going to go far in depth. And I tried telling you yesterday, this is nothing new in the NHL when it comes to operate cheating. You're just making a bigger deal than it is. This happens all the time.
Well, but we never really see like a top player like this get offer sheeted though. That's the thing. Especially
No,
like this.
This happens more often than not, just not to the scale of this. Exactly.
Right. I mean, it might happen to like a 3rd tier or 4th tier player, which is fine. But like, you never see like a superstar go into First of all, you never see a superstar go into restricted free agency, and then you never really see this. So that's why, like, when we were talking, and I know you're standing, you're standing in the organization, so I know you can't really speak much of it. But I mean, like, that's why I was telling you like 3 weeks ago. Why doesn't a team go and offer Connor Bedard $30 million a year? I mean, you think Chicago would match that? Absolutely not. And if Chicago does,
well, no, but then it goes like, in a way, Isaiah, it's counterintuitive to your point about giving Macklin or Bedard a blank check, because then you literally just said one thing about one team giving 70% of their salary cap to one player. Isn't that the same thing of what you're saying with Bedard and Celebrini, basically? So why is it good for one team and not the other?
Because here's where I'm going to counter with that. I think Celebrini is like a 5 times better player than Leo Carlsson, even though Leo Carlsson is good.
If that's the case, then why was Carlsson's team in round 2 of the playoffs last year?
Because he had a better team around him. Celebrini basically carried us, and everybody was like 50 points or 60 points behind.
Yeah, and you want to have that anchor strapped to you if you give him that blank check? I don't think you do when he can't go and fill other needs. And even if Anaheim counters it, who's not to say that they let him play a year, then they trade the contract?
Well, but I don't think anybody's going to trade for that trade for that contract with an $18 million a year. That's like making $50 million in the NBA. Is
Well,
what I told James.
tell that to Greer when he took that stupid Darnell Nurse contract on.
Well, but that's different though. You have
How is that
reinforcements.
any different? How is that any different when you're getting out from underneath a big money contract? Just like what Anaheim did with McTavish last week at the draft when it came to the draft picks. Paying a guy underperforming $7 million a year for what? There you go.
Because Nurse is still something left in the tank, and also like
he's
you're
over the hill. He's going to be in the penalty box at the worst possible time. Trouba can't kill penalties, and you're going to lose games like 7-6 because of your high octane offense going nowhere. And it's going to boil down to a bad penalty by him or Nurse. It's going to cost you guys a goal.
But I think that but look at our defensemen that right now we have in the blue or in the pipeline. They all like are super young. So by the time they end up reaching the NHL level, they're gonna be jumping in right when Trouba and Nurse, right when those contracts are about to expire.
No, still think it's overpace.
James, oh my God. James says all this Sharks propaganda. I'm gonna propaganda my foot in your ass.
Exactly.
But see, that's the thing I'm saying is that like with the Sharks, Celebrini a better player, obviously. So I would give that to him. And like you have all these young guys who are like so young and so not established that, hey, look, you take these young guys, Nurse comes in, Trouba comes in for the first couple of years, and then, like you said, with trading the contract, we could trade the contract after year 2 if we really wanted to.
Okay, that still doesn't answer my question about why is it good for one team to give out, a massive contract to one player to take up, half the salary cap, but not for the others.
Because I don't think CARLSSON is on the level of the player that I would truly give.
21 going on 22 after having a 65-point season last year.
I know he is. I know
and
he
don't
is.
Be trying to fire back about it, Isaiah. Go back and look at every roster of the last winning Cup teams dating back to 2006. Neither team that won the championship had anybody making more than 10 mil on the roster. 20 years in a row that's been happening.
No, I understand that, but the problem is that time has changed. So, like you can't stick to that and not be like, hey, you got to give these guys, like, these are generational young stars. Like, are you really gonna stick to that and not give like a Celebrini or a Bedard? Maybe not a Bedard.
Who's not to say Anaheim offer sheets Macklin or Connor in a couple of years?
Well, because Macklin's gonna be signed this year. That's why.
Or what if he goes back to Vancouver?
Oh, that's not going to happen. We're going to 8-year deal him. I guarantee you that.
Oh, you can't give out 8-year deals anymore with the new CBA, and there's no deferred salary either.
But, Callan, I want to ask you, we talked about Bedard last night. I think, honestly, sadly, though, that injury does hinder Bedard just because, like, he's proven to be...
They're already talking about him going back to Chicago for $17 million annually.
Well, yeah. But, like, I honestly thought it was going to be CARLSSON gets the money first, and then whatever CARLSSON gets, Bedard would eclipse that. And then after Bedard gets that, then Celebrini would eclipse what Bedard got. But, do you think that changes now with CARLSSON's ridiculous offer sheet? Does that changes anything for Bedard and Celebrini moving forward?
It should. A top centerman from Anaheim getting that much money from Philadelphia. Now, again, like you said, though, Anaheim has a week to figure it out, and they'll take their time to figure it out. I'm sure that I'm pretty confident they're going to still match the offer, though it might set the team back by a year. I don't think they're going to do that. They're not going to let every conceivable guy walk in free agency. They're going to have to do something. So, they'll probably take the weekend, and I'm not surprised though that they said that there wouldn't be any comment on what happened today. So I'm sure they'll probably take the holiday break to go over it and go back to the drawing board. But I think a lot of people, though, Isaiah, though you may not agree, but a lot of the actual experts, not name you and me, actually do have Anaheim making that deal to bring him back. But if not, those are four first round picks 4 years in a row, and all that could be in a massive package to get somebody. Like I said yesterday, that there might be something else brewing out there, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happened. I'm just stunned by the amount because I don't think that anybody expected CARLSSON to land 15 million, let alone 18 million.
Well, he's got a bright future. I mean, you keep, shitting upon him, but I mean, he's had two really good he's had 3 really good years since he went to the pros.
No, he has. I'm not denying that he's not a good player. I think he's a good player, but the amount of money is just so rich, and I think now that blows the market up.
Again, you'll say it's too much for him. But if Celebrini gets this much money, it's the best thing ever because it's your damn team.
Well, no, I think Celebrini's going for 25 now, which is, it's going to hurt, but you got to pay the premium to keep talent.
Well, when it doesn't work out, what are you going to say?
I mean, and also keep in mind though, by the way, Raider Savage 007 chimes in. He says, I guess this is about the Celebrini contract, or this is about the contract for CARLSSON. By year 3, 18 million will look okay. I mean, I guess just because the salary cap, like we mentioned last night, is going up.
And he's young. He's young. He's had one injury bump, which happened last year when he had to have a growth removed out of his leg during the Olympic break last season, and he's only going to get better.
So, I mean, the salary cap is going up. I mean, maybe this is like the precedent that like changes NHL contracts to what the NBA now is going, where guys are making 30, 40 million a year. Who knows?
Well, that, and again, there's also no deferred money anymore in the NHL, and
right.
there's no longer 8-year deals. Those are now a thing of the past.
What's the longest deal? I'm curious. Like, what's the longest deal a team can give out? 7?
I think now it's 7, but Shea Weber got a 14-year deal from somebody, and he went through 5 different teams because he had like major hip surgery and never was able to play again.
Right.
So like a lot of those stupid contracts that y'all picked up last year for like Carey Price and Ryan Ellis, all those guys are on LTIR for like the rest of their career. That's exactly what happened to Shea Weber.
Well, hey, Sharks legend Carey Price. Whenever you mention him. Anyways,
did he play a game for you?
No, he actually, it was funny that you mentioned though, he actually was on the ice during development camp last year because he was taking his physical, which is hella funny. But Raider Savage 007 also says 8 if you have player rights right now. Hey, so you asked. Yeah.
Anaheim would have that because it would, if they do sign the 5-year deal, it would wipe out one of those years.
By September 1st. So we do have it. So we could give Celebrini an 8-year deal then.
Only if you have rights, it sounds like. The whole CBA changing is just throwing everything for a loop.
But yeah, this is unprecedented. It's an unprecedented day in the NHL.
No, it's not unprecedented, Isaiah. This has just never happened of this much money being thrown around in the NHL for as long as I've been around the sport for 25 years. Don't forget that, Skippy.
Well, well, see, I respect you to my 3 years. I'm 3 years your junior, but yes, Raider Savage says 007 about. I guess that's about the player rights and how I think if San Jose could give Celebrini an 8-year deal. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Celebrini thing. That should be a fascinating storyline this summer. I know Mike Greer said yesterday, that extension is in the works. I spent my night last night watching Mike Greer's press conference. Never thought in my life that I would ever end up doing that for the National Hockey League. But yeah, I mean, Callan, the last thing I guess I got to ask you is, you are the hockey expert on the show, although I am slowly starting to become one. But
yeah, don't get ahead of yourself there, Phil.
I want to ask you. So there was a tweet that was brought out that apparently GMs around the NHL are steaming about what happened today because apparently, like, I guess this was like a unwritten rule type of thing amongst NHL GMs that you don't try to screw over another GM because I guess it's like a brotherhood in the NHL. what is your whole thought on that? Like, that's like that GMs around the league are pissed off at the moment because apparently one GM went over everybody and decided to reset the market and screw over another team big time.
I've never heard that ever said whatsoever about that. So I mean, I don't buy that notion from whoever said that. I don't know where they're getting their information from, because offer sheets have always been a thing, but they've never been of this magnitude though. And I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, if anything, it's just making the NHL visible over the course of the offseason. Like this would never happen years ago with how much people have, gravitated towards the sport, not because of Celebrini, just for the sport in general they're skipping. But I think that it's just in a way like, maybe a little bit to some, to some people, to some thoughts that I usually hear that, hockey's great though only if they play like every game's play like a playoff game, which you can't do for 84 games over the course of a season just because of the wear and tear factor. But I think it's just more than anything else, it creates buzz, it creates excitement, and that's why I think that hockey is slowly, in a way, overtaking basketball when it
Thank
comes
you,
to the
Macklin.
when it comes to no, it's not because of Celebrini. You need to stop saying that. It's just where the game's gone in general, not because of him. They put a team in Vegas when no one wanted to do that 10 years ago. They put a team in Seattle for the first time in forever. They went to a very great marketplace in Utah. They have hockey thriving in warm weather places like California and Texas and Florida, for God's sakes. Like, it's just where the game has gone so far, and that, yeah, I don't buy that whatsoever. I mean, they can say what they want, and oh, is it because Danny Briere did it? Like, no, I don't buy that one bit, one iota. If anything, this is great that this news is out there and that it has people talking about this sport before we begin, training camp sometime, I think at the end of this month or in early August, and that it just in a way fills the news. And yeah, the news is shocking for what it is. I think just because of the money that's being thrown around now all of a sudden by the NHL. I mean, I never would have thought we've seen this kind of money thrown around 20, 25, 30 years ago when I first got into the sport, when I was starting to go to games when I was, in first grade 25 years ago, 26 years ago, that you'd be seeing guys, getting offered $15, $18 million to play hockey and not baseball or football or basketball or even soccer. So, I mean, I don't buy that whatsoever. I also believe in the unwritten rules. I mean, I don't, this is nothing. This is a nothing burger for me. And I'm actually glad that somebody out there, whether it's Anaheim or somebody, just had the cojones to just take the shot across the bow and say, hey, here's an offer sheet, give me your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying forever. Is like, why don't a team go out and go give Bedard $25 million? See if they will actually match it. I mean, if they don't, you get a great young player. If they do, that team is screwed for like the next 10, 12 years. So,
Well, I mean,
like,
you still have to give proper compensation, and
well,
I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and especially, I mean, this would be a haul though if this actually happened with it being 4 first-round picks. But I'm sure that that maybe once kept by Anaheim, but I think that becomes a Plan B package that is put together for Robertson, Robert Thomas, or any of the big names who are kind of disgruntled right now. They may have been. I mean, there was some talk about Zach Werenski, but he's made it very much evident he's going to stay in Columbus. But
Right.
again, yeah, I mean, you can hate where things are at, though. But like I've been trying to say, Isaiah, there is still something out there for Anaheim, whatever it might be.
I think going back to that whole notion of like the GMs being pissed, I was reading somewhere like someone that is notable in hockey, I forget the guy's name. He commented and saying this is more like the old school GMs versus
The
the
new
new
approach.
school.
It's
Yeah,
old
yeah.
school versus exactly, and we
So
see this all the time, Isaiah, in every damn front office in every sport that we watch. Believe me.
yeah, so I think it's more of like the guys that are probably grumbling are probably the old school GMs way of thought.
Either they're old school or they're in small market cities that don't spend a lot. And honestly, Isaiah, it wouldn't shock me if it was a few teams in Canada, because I talked about this last
Probably.
Tuesday. I said this last Tuesday about the Brady Kachuk trade going to Florida, and I know it, and that's, Casey King said that yesterday about, Florida is still there, though you want to say Mike Greer's the man, Isaiah. Bill Zito's building something a little bit better down in Florida because they have the advantage of there being no state taxes In California, it charges 13.3%. And I brought that up on Tuesday. Brady Kachuk and a lot of star guys leaving Canadian markets does not surprise me because they charge 53% in taxes up there in Canada.
Wow, I didn't even know that actually. Oh my gosh.
So
by the way,
shock. So it's probably a lot of those GMs or those ownerships are probably crying foul. Well, hey, when you haven't won a Stanley Cup as a country in 30 plus years, then you have to find other things to bitch about.
Raiders Savage 007 says 20.8 mil is the max AAV you can give. So
yeah, so you can only give Macklin 20.8 million per year for the AAV for that contract. And again, it's still like 60 or 70% of your salary cap going to one guy.
Right.
This is not the NWSL where you pay one player outside the salary cap to come and play for your team.
But going to your point though, I'm glad you brought up the point about how hockey is getting more popular by the minute, and
it's not because of Celebrini. It's because unlike other leagues, I say they don't put games behind damn paywalls on Netflix and frickin' Peacock.
That's Video. That's what I was gonna say. So for all those out there that watched Sports Weekly last night, go and check out the ending of it, because my guy James Gonzalez gave like a 10-minute monologue about how he is so thrilled that that he started to get into hockey. If you go and check that out if you have time, it's the end of Sports Weekly last night. But I'm so glad that you brought that up, because you're right. Hockey is getting more popular by the minute. It's getting more popular. And I think hockey has the potential, definitely, especially with all the nonsense going on in Major League Baseball. And also, by the way, no, Casey, this is not a win-win for the Ducks. It's an absolute lose-lose. But
I think it's a win-win. You signed him to the contract, and if something goes wrong, you can again get out from underneath the contract, or you get those 4 first-round picks and you make a big splashy trade to get Jason Robertson or somebody else who wants to come here.
Speaking of Jason Robertson, before I go into my spiel about how hockey's improved, I've seen a lot of people. I think Elliot Friedrich. I don't think that's how you say his name.
Elliot Friedman, get it right.
Elliot Friedman. He said something, and David Pagnotta said something about how the Sharks are still linked to Jason Robertson. We would have to pull off a massive trade list. And I like Jason Robertson. I think he's a good player, but absolutely not. I am not trading Colin Graff for Jason Robertson. I'm not doing that, Callan. I'm not going to do that with a young player like Graff, who provides you intensity. He's got that chip on his shoulder like a freaking Jimmy Butler or Tom Brady, where it's like, hey, nobody drafted me. Everybody passed on me. Only the Sharks gave me a chance. So screw you. I'm gonna work my ass off to try to beat your ass. You need those types of players that have the.
Hold the phone for a second. He had to do that, Isaiah, because he was on the verge of being sent back to the minors on a couple of occasions. Because I saw him play in San Jose over the last several years, and he was great down here. But again, can the game translate to the NHL? Sure, it did for parts of a year, but he was doing it mainly where he had to show that a team. You're not sending me back down to the AHL, and I see that all the time in that league where I work and where I've been for the past decade.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for Graff, and he really improved. Like last year, he had 20 goals for the first time in his NHL career. I think the most goals he's had prior to last year was 5 or 6. We know defensively he's really good. He's really good at killing penalties. He's always in the right spot at the right time. It's just that the goal scoring just hadn't really appeared until last year. So for him to take his game to another,
Isaiah, I'll say my favorite 3-word phrase: it takes time.
Yes, it does. But I am not trading Graff for a piece in Jason Robertson, who would cost a lot of money, and also who is older than Colin Graff. I would not do it if I'm the San Jose Sharks. I would put that out there. But back to the whole thing about hockey. Getting more and more popular. I'm glad you brought that up, because like I said, I think when Major League Baseball's BS that's going on right now, there's going to be a lockout. And me and James talked about this last night.
Oh, yeah.
I think the reason why I started following the NHL was because, partially it was because of what the Sharks are building, and everybody is seeing something special that is building in San Jose.
Now, you wanted to do it to troll me because you thought the sport was boring. Thank you, Shree Anand.
Yes, well, that's why I went. Well, but that happened like 5 years ago, though. Like I didn't start watching hockey closely until 2023, I think 2024.
You claim to have been a Sharks fan who lived through the 3-0 upset or
I
a
did.
blown lead or 3-0 lead, and then you become a Kraken fan because your airline sponsors them.
Well, I have a Kraken puck, which is a disgrace. But hey, I'm not going to
You
throw
you
away
you
something
you've
free,
been to
though.
games up there because you were in a suite because of your damn employer having rights, having the airline rights to the damn Kraken.
Yeah, but you really think I'm going to turn down free food in a suite? Come on, man.
Not when it's a rival organization, sir.
Anyways, but like I said, hockey has, I think, become more popular because, like myself and James, we're tired of Major League Baseball's BS. We really are. Like the haggling over contracts, the haggling over the CBA. Like it's
The
gotten
the
so
drastic changes for the draft
the
coming up
drastic,
eventually.
yeah, the drastic changes for the draft. And honestly, major or the NHL has a golden opportunity to become that like second, maybe, yeah, that second or third tier sport and push down MLB from where they are at 4 right now, because MLB is going to go into the lockout, whether you like to admit it or not.
Oh yeah,
And
no. I'm fully on that train.
yeah, they are going to go into a lockout. And what are you going to watch from February, which is when baseball spring training is about to start,
All the way till
until
about June,
all the
exactly.
way until June? Yeah, what are you going to watch? And that's why for me, it's like I've picked up the NHL just because, hey, the lockout's incoming. Hockey, I think, like, they're doing a better job of marketing players. You see the salary increases that is going on right now. And for all those fans out there that never, like, just like me before, that never thought they would ever watch hockey, I strongly suggest, hey, go to a game. Because if you go to a game, and that's what really, for me, really, and I think James brought this up last night. Sorry to go all sentimental on you guys, but I think that was one thing that really changed my entire perspective of hockey, was when I went to a Sharks game. Like, I went to a game. It was so exciting. I was on the edge of my seat every freaking minute because the speed of it, like, you never knew what was going to happen. Like, and that's why I got hooked. And so, that's, I think that's what the NHL has going for them, is MLB is just fighting amongst themselves. The NBA, a lot of people don't like the changes that Adam Silver is trying to make, especially with that stupid one free throw BS nonsense that they're considering right now.
Nah, that's not the problem. The problem is about them with trying to stop tanking. I don't mind the NBA G League rule for one free throw equals 2 points. It speeds up the game.
Well, and also, like, I think what really MLB and NBA effed up was the fact that they're putting all these games on Netflix, on Amazon, on
Yep.
stuff that, like, people don't have access to. I mean, I watched the Stanley Cup Finals this past season, or the playoffs, because they were all on local TV or they were on ESPN. Like, I
ESPN,
didn't.
ABC, or TNT, or TBS.
Exactly. Like, I didn't have to go flip through a Netflix or flip through a Amazon Prime. Like, I was complaining to someone during the NBA playoffs. I was like, dude, this is supposed to be the NBA playoffs. Why am I flipping to, like, or trying to log into my Amazon account and trying to watch a game there? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, where were the days of, like, flipping through, like, your CBS or ABC or NBC? Yes, I'm that old school, but where was those days? And, like, it's just, you just can't watch games anymore, sadly, for free. So I think that's another thing that the NHL has going for them. And plus, like, you look at the young stars, like, you got Macklin, Bedard, CARLSSON, Seneca. I mean, they're doing a great job of marketing them. So I think that's what the NHL has. And that's why
They're also properly marketing the old guys too, like Crosby and Ovechkin, who are still around.
Exactly. And that's why I think, like, I would say probably a year from now, I think the NHL is definitely going to overtake baseball. I mean, with this lockout, it's only going to help. Like, sadly,
Yeah,
like,
it's only going to help them, only help their momentum. I thought, especially with the World Cup craze, like James said in his comment, but MLS screwed themselves over next year by moving the schedule from their current blueprint right now to the same time as the NFL, because they have to align with the overseas transfer market to make trades. And that's going to kill them, because a lot of those teams that are in MLS aren't going to be able to play, probably because of the weather.
oh, that's right. Because it's what, too hot?
No, it'd be
Oh,
from August till it'd be from fall to spring, then spring to and then they would resume later in the later. I forget it, but I think it'd be fall. So I think August all the way through May.
wow. So the winter months are going to be freezing then.
Yeah, so all the teams like in New England, New York,
Oh, yeah.
they're all gonna be having issues with their scheduling.
Wow. Casey King says that hockey players are the best and hard workers and play through the grind. Absolutely. I mean, these hockey players, I've been in all of them because a lot of them like just play through like just crazy injuries. Like, I mean, you had Macklin play through a broken tooth after a puck hit him in the face. He left for like a little bit and then he came
Oh,
back and I'm like, what the
a
hell?
chipped tooth is one thing. How about Troy Terry and Cutter Gauthier playing through either fractured spinal vertebrae or through a ripped labrum in their hip?
Wow. But yeah, no,
True story, by the way. True story. When the Mighty Ducks lost to New Jersey in 2003, they played a 7-game series. The home team won all 7 games. When Anaheim was on their way to winning the Cup in 07, Doc Emmerich shared a story on NBC that night when they clinched the Cup that he talked to John Madden, not the John Madden that Isaiah's thinking of, but who played for the Devils. And Doc asked him because John was playing through like injury throughout the course of the postseason, and John said the first day I woke up out of bed and didn't feel something hurting was the middle part of July after the Cup was won like 6 weeks prior.
wow, that's insane. Wow.
They're a
But
different breed, I tell you. They're a different breed.
they really are. James says it's gonna snow at MLS games. That's why. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up putting them indoors, anyways. Like,
Oh no, not a lot of the teams have domes. Like New York doesn't. Neither New York team does. Toronto doesn't. Montreal, I think, does. The Florida teams don't, and they have to deal with the rain. Charlotte doesn't have a dome.
no,
Chicago
right?
has no dome. Columbus has no dome. Minnesota has no dome. Nobody has any domes except for Vancouver, who they're trying to move to Vegas.
Wait, Vancouver. That they play that stadium that's like right by downtown. I forget the name of it.
BC Place.
Yes, BC Place. Exactly. It's right next to a Costco too, which makes it
That
really insane too.
I don't mean to go off topic, but that whole thing with the Whitecaps is
Yeah.
infuriating.
Oh yeah, this one right here. This is another reason why I think the NHL is becoming more popular. Besides the TV stuff, is unlike NBA players who takes nights off and get overpaid and don't play through grind. I mean, you talked about Kawhi Leonard's legacy. I mean, what is his legacy going to be with the Clippers? It's literally going to be load management. I mean, that's what you're going to remember.
It'll be load management, but they finally at least got to the conference final for the first time ever
Yeah.
between Buffalo, San Diego, and LA.
Yeah, that is true, but I mean Jake Casey does bring up a point with that like a lot. I mean, it's also flopping too with the NBA too. Like you have these players just acting like just complete drama queens.
I mean, yeah, I kind of stopped following basketball in general because of it.
Right. But Callan, I do appreciate you welcoming me into your sport, though, even though my initial reason for getting into your sport wasn't wasn't exactly the most friendliest. But
Yeah, but what else is new? You've been doing this for 6 years, buddy.
But let's talk contracts, shall we? We talked about the Leo Carlsson stuff, right? You do have the whole Celebrini contract going on right now. Do you think the Bedard injury hurts Bedard in terms of like what's he gonna get, honestly?
Possibly. I mean, I think Chicago. I mean, if they lose, I mean, this would have been like if the Leafs didn't draft McKenna. If Chicago lets Bedard go, that fan base is going to riot. I'm just going to say that right here and right now.
I mean, will you be shocked though if Bedard leaves? I mean, let me ask you this though, since you are a hockey expert, which Connor requested the trade out first? Because those are the two situations I'm watching. Connor Bedard in Chicago.
It'll be McDavid probably. Bedard's too young and he has no leverage in Chicago.
Yeah. Who is out first though? Kyle Davidson or Connor Bedard? I mean, I think that's the easy answer. We probably know the
Davidson would be out first because again, Chicago doesn't want to have there be a full-fledged fan mutiny against the franchise or they don't retain Bedard.
Yeah, that is true. And then you talk about the other like contracts. Celebrini's up this year. We have, you know, we've
Adam
turned it,
Fantilli's up. Adam Fantilli
right.
is also up too in Columbus. I think he'll stay there.
I believe Pavel is up for you guys, right? Like
Oh, I already
Pavel.
wrote. I already wrote my thoughts to you about that, so I'm not going to dispose those on the air. But I already wrote my
Right,
thoughts
right.
out with that whole thing. So
And then speaking of contracts, Ivan Demidov got a massive 8-year contract. Congratulations to him. I remember him because I think he was drafted the same year as Macklin. And yeah, to see him get rewarded, even though he's still rookie of the year, but that's a different story for a different day.
you didn't
That,
steal it, Isaiah. It's because there's East Coast bias when it comes to Demidov playing with the Montreal Canadiens, who've won 24 more cups than the Guppy Puppies have in San Jose.
and then Casey says, I agree with Callan. Ducks with 4 first-round picks because trade 1 or 2 of them for a good player and re-sign Gaudier. Am I saying his name correctly, right?
No,
Gaudier?
Cutter Goche.
Goche, right, Goche. Goche and others, and still have those picks and still have a good team.
Yeah, Isaiah, this is not the end of the world or the end of his franchise just because of this whole thing with the offer sheet. Again, did I not tell you yesterday, even if this happens, there is something still out there with
Yes,
this
you did.
organization going forward.
You could trade him for this guy, by the way. James is asking Callan, where do you believe Dylan Larkin is going? I know he was one of the trade candidates we were talking about a
He
few weeks
wants out
ago.
of Detroit. I mean, that's been one thing I have been hearing. So I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I don't know honestly. I mean, I'm a little shocked he wants out of Detroit, but he's been there for so long, and I think he's been a part of their lengthy rebuild. You know, so I mean, I would probably think Anaheim could be a suitor, especially if they have to go to Plan B, which is the picks. Um, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to just wait and see what happens with where it goes, but.
Did Larkin request a trade officially?
He
Well, I
did.
feel like
Yeah,
I
he did. No,
heard
no, no,
about
he
that.
did.
Yeah,
No, he did.
he did. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think when we were talking about that, I was thinking I wanted to say Boston, but I didn't think that just because they are an up and coming team, but I don't know if Detroit would trade him in the East Coast.
I don't know. I don't think the original 6 teams like doing business with each other anyway.
I mean, how about LA? I mean, we know LA likes their veterans. We know that they're still thinking that
If
they're
if
trying
you
to
want a
win.
sleeper, I think LA swings at Austin Matthews first.
Ooh, that is a good one, actually. I could see that just because I feel like the timeline in Toronto with him and Gavin McKenna, it just doesn't match. You know, like
I
they
mean,
want to go.
I think it will for at least a year. But then I think if they don't make the postseason, or if they have another, and by the way, they hired a shit GM, by the way, in John Chayka, who nobody in hockey
Yep,
circles
they did.
likes. You don't even know why. You don't even know why people don't like him, Isaiah.
I know, but I know he's bad though.
Yeah, well, that's
I've read about him. He's not
neither
good.
here nor there. But yeah, I mean that hiring was one thing. The Babcock hiring by Edmonton still floors me too. By the way,
As well as Peter Laviolette, the LA head coach.
can't even say
I
his
know
name. It's
I said his name
Peter
wrong.
Laviolette,
Peter Laviolette. Yes,
who's
yes.
already won a couple of titles as is with at other places.
But him and Babcock both haven't coached in what 5 years, right? Like,
Now, Laviolette's a little more fresher in the tooth than Babcock, who didn't even make it out of the preseason 3 years ago in Columbus because of invasion of privacy concerns.
James says that is a great name. Yeah, I mean, speaking of free agency and the offseason, there is still a lot of free agents out there. Jason Robertson being one. Surprised he didn't take the 8-year deal with the Kraken. I'm really surprised at that. I know I talked about it a little bit, saying that like, hey, you know, guys like this, they don't just want the money, but they want to win as well. So I don't know if he's gonna get. I'll be honest, Callan. I don't know if Robertson will get more than what Seattle offered him. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't take that, but because his market has kind of tanked at the moment, sadly.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe a little bit, but who knows? I mean,
yeah,
we don't really know what the hell's going on anyway.
true. I mean, I'm just too plugged in San Jose. That's all. But besides that, we got a schedule coming out in a couple of weeks, which should be fun. I know myself and James were talking about like looking over. James said that he was actually going to get a plan, or I'm thinking about getting an 8-game plan last night. So, James, if you are watching the show, if you
James, if you
want to,
need help, I can put you in touch with the ticketing department.
also if you need help, we can go maybe go to a couple of Sharks Ducks games together. Who knows? But
It just depends on just depends on scheduling because I cannot go to that.
uh,
That first preseason game is here on the 20th, and I can't make it because I have to work that day.
oh yeah, we are playing you guys in we're playing you guys down there and also up here in the Bay Area.
Oh, you only have 4 games now because of the new schedule.
Yeah, 4 against. Well, we have 4 against 2 against Vegas, and then 2 against Anaheim to start it off. Have
Yeah,
they announced?
we have LA and San Jose.
James says, "Thanks, Cal. Let's go." So I guess I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, I'll do some research for you here in a bit.
What do the Maple Leafs have to do to get back into the playoffs? I mean, I think the simple thing is trade Gavin McKenna to San Jose. No, I'm kidding.
No, he already signed his ELC.
I know he did. Is that, speaking of the ELCs, is this the fastest that we've seen these young prospects sign ELCs? I mean, if our Stenberg signed his literally like on the last day of development camp, and then now Gavin McKenna signs his.
No, they usually no. This is usually standard practice. They usually sign them after developmental camp wraps up usually. So this is nothing new.
Does being in the ELC cement that like, hey, they're probably going to start in the NHL and then go from there?
No, just signing the ELC just means that they get the it's basically a rookie contract, so they have their rights retained when they have to go back to minor, or when they have to go back to a certain league that they can that the team still holds their rights.
All right. Speaking of, and also Casey, same thing with you. I mean, I'd be down to hit up a Sharks Kings game with you. I know that, I mean, the Sharks and the Kings and the Sharks and the Ducks, every time they play each other, it just seems like it just ends up being a really fun, amazing game. So, like, I'm definitely looking forward to those games next year. There was a comment from Raiders Savage 007. Isaiah, who do you think? I don't know why I can't put it up, but Isaiah, why do you think San Jose, or who do you think San Jose will open with?
Vegas.
You know what? We opened with Vegas last year. I don't know if the league wants a repeat of that though. Like, I really could see us opening with you guys to start the season. But we always seemingly play you guys in like the second game of the year, like the last 2 years.
They'll probably keep it regionalized. It wouldn't shock me if like Anaheim plays Utah or probably. I would think we open up with Vegas. Honestly,
yeah, that makes sense though because of the playoffs, the second round in the playoffs.
All that, and also they want to keep everybody close for the first couple games of the year because of travel.
I honestly, and I'm gonna go off the whim and say this, I think that we're gonna open up with LA because of the rivalry.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I could see that a lot. James says hydration break. I don't know what you mean by that. Hydration
He's watching
break.
the World Cup, Foo.
Oh, I see. Hockey is already. By the way, James, I don't know if you saw James's comment about how he's more into like hockey in the World Cup now, which is crazy. He never thought that he was ever gonna. Yeah, he never thought he was ever gonna be able to get into those. So, shout out to you, James. But yeah, I think that that's gonna be the end of the program for tonight. You know, if you guys like goalkeeping skills, check it out on the Asian Skip Bayless. You saw your boy with some amazing goalkeeping skills right there.
Yeah, it looked like the Toon Squad getting their ass kicked by the Monstars in the first half of Space Jam 30 years ago. A bit one-sided, eh?
Oh my gosh. I haven't. That was. What do you mean? That was slow. That was good goaltending skills. Kept all the puck.
Any sharpshooter is putting that puck by you 99 out of 100 times. And the one time they miss it, hits the post or the crossbar.
But I do want to say one last thing before we do call it a night is that hockey needs to be like baseball and abolish the salary cap. Like, let's get rid of that and make it even more fun. And if you want contracts to explode, there you freaking go.
They're never going to, though, because they care too much about parity. So
crap.
They need it, though, because the last time that they had a full season missed because of a lockout, Isaiah, was because of a salary cap.
Yeah, and then they can fall into the trap that baseball ends up being in, where it's like, you're haggling over salary cap, teams not spending.
Well, that, and then players are only going to go to the original 6 teams. We're going to be back in the 1940s again.
James says, it hit the post. It hit the freaking post. Don Emmerich with an amazing call right there. By the way,
James is really locked in for that Colombia-Ghana match right now from Kansas City, Missouri.
See, I know soccer announcers. Shout out to you, Don Emmerich.
Emmerich called hockey, not soccer, foo.
Oh, is he? No, I thought he did call soccer at one point for NBC.
No, he did not.
Anyways, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, if you guys like what you guys are hearing, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. This is the only place for hockey and only hockey content only.
You get plenty of hockey talk on Cowan's Cranium on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern, Phil.
And if you want Sharks content, you know where to find any breaking news, any top news. If Macklin signs a $30 million per year deal, we'll be here to discuss it. So
you can't do that, sir. They literally just said it's 20.8 million AAV.
But when Macklin gets locked up, we will have a breaking news show. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We are going to be doing a schedule release show as well. So when the schedule does come out for the Sharks, you're going to see my predictions as well as just a breakdown of the entire schedule from start to finish. I don't believe there's
nothing to break down. You play everybody in the division X amount of times, the Western Conference X amount of times, and you play the Eastern Conference twice. There's nothing to break down. You may play 2 more games against Vegas to even out the 84 games.
So we're going to play Vegas, 6 times this year?
I have no idea. We'll wait and see in 2 weeks, roughly, or 3 weeks.
And then we've got the one thing I'll say about the NHL, the All-Star break, it's amazing. I love what they do for the All-Stars. It's just watching the 3-on-3. It's 3-on-3, right? Yeah. The 3-on-3.
This year it's gonna be a 3-on-3 version of the Four Nations Faceoff this year from upstate New York. Or from the new arena where the Islanders play.
Bravo. Train Matthew Schaefer to us and fix that rig nonsense.
That's not going to happen, Isaiah.
Anyways, guys, Callan, some final thoughts for you before we call it a night here on this July 3rd as we get ready for the July 4th?
Whatever you do tomorrow, don't do anything freaking stupid. Be safe around fireworks. More importantly, get a ride home if you drink too much Budweiser tomorrow, and go USA on Monday versus the Belgium Waffles.
Or you can drink hockey's version of beer, which is Canada Dry. So take that.
We ain't drinking no damn Canadian stuff on our 250th birthday, sir. What are you doing here?
That is true. Never mind. Erase that.
Canada Day already came and went on July 1st.
Or if you're like me, take your Sharks hockey stick and then fill it up with beer and then and then chug that baby. But anyways, guys, it's been a great show. We just got off the rails a little bit, but we'll see what the Ducks do. Like I said again, if there's more breaking news, you know where to find great hockey coverage. But until then, guys,
it's only great because I show up here to freaking straighten you out.
Are you really going to show up here every time I talk hockey?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Anyways, guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. No Jason Robertson, please, to San Jose. But until then, stay safe on the 4th of July, everybody. Do not do anything stupid with fireworks, and we'll see you again. We'll see you guys again soon. Have a good night, everybody.